The sum of two positive numbers is 151. The lesser number is 19 more than the square root of the greater number. What is the value of the greater number minus the lesser number? All right. So the sum of the two positive numbers is 151. So basically, let's say x plus y is 151. And the lesser number, let's say x, is 19 more than square root of the greater number. Let's say greater number is y. So now we can solve this. So we want to basically find what is y minus x. So if you find y and x, then we could. So in this case, we can subtract both sides of this equation by 19. Then x minus 19 become square root of y. Then I can square both sides of the equation. So x minus 19 squared becomes y. So x minus 19 is basically x squared minus 2 times 19 times x, which is minus 38x, plus 19 squared. So 19 squared is 361. That's basically y value. So if I plug this instead of y value here, equal 151, I get the equation that I can solve. So if I plug that in here, I need to just add an x to the y. It will be equal to 151. So basically the final equation is x squared minus 37x. I added the like terms here. And I subtract both sides of the equation by 151. It becomes plus 210 equals 0. Now I use a quadratic formula. What was the quadratic formula? Is minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So minus b here is 37 plus minus square root of b squared is 37 squared. So 37 times 37 is 1369 minus 4 times a times c. 4 times 1 times 210, which is 840 over 2a. 2 times 1, which is 2. All right. Now we have 1369 minus 840, which is 529. Square root that, which is 23. So this is exactly 23. So 23 plus 37 becomes 60 divided by 2, 30. So x could be 30 or 37 minus 23, which is 14 divided by 2, 7. So x could be 30 or 7. But which one? To find out, we can plug that in here and to find if y become positive. Like what can we find y? So if x is 30, 30 equals 19 plus square root of y. So in this case, 30 minus 19, which is 11. So 11 become root y. So from here, y is equal to 121. But if I plug in 7 instead of x, then 7 minus 19 will be equal to square root of y. 7 minus 19 is a negative number. A negative number cannot be equal to a square root. So this is our answer. 30 is 121. Now we want to find out what is 121 minus 30, which is 91. J is the answer. The list of numbers 41, 35, 30, x, y, 15 has a median of 25. The mode of the list of number is 15. To the nearest whole number, what is the mean of the list? Alright, so what is the median? Median is the number that is in the middle of the set of the number, right? So because, for example, if we have 5 number, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, median is 3. But if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the median is average of these two, 3 and 4. Now here we also have 6 numbers, right? Because we have 6 numbers, in order to find the median is 41, 35, 30, x, y, 15. So the median, which is 25, is basically 30 plus x divided by 2. It should be 25. So basically here, x will be 20. So we found x. X is 20. Okay. Now, the next step is, we know the mode is 15. So it means mode, what is mode? That the number that repeats the most in the set of number. So we have 115. So it means the y is also 15 because that's the only thing that is left. And it should be 15 in order that 15 becomes the highest repeated number. All right. So what is the mean of the list? Mean is the average. Now what we need to do is to just add all of these divided by 6. So 41 plus 35 plus 30 plus 20 plus 15 plus 15 divided by 6 is 26. C is the answer. So you are given the following system of equation: y equal x squared, rx plus sy is equal to t, where rs and t are integers. For which of the following will there be more than one xy solution with the real number coordinate for the system? All right. So what you need to do here, you want to solve a system, right? So you can do the substitution. So instead of y, I can put x squared. So basically, I put x squared instead of y here. So rx plus sx squared equals t. So I'm going to write it in the format sx squared plus rx minus t equals 0. Now, look at this here. They're all like the value under the radical in quadratic formula, which is b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac. If that's bigger than 0, we have two answers. If it's equal to 0, you have one answer. If it's less than 0, you have no answers. So b here is r, a is s, c is minus t. So what you just need to do, we say r squared, b squared, r squared minus 4 times a, which is s, times c, which is minus t, which become r squared plus 4st, because this minus and minus become plus. So this guy, we want more than one solution. So this guy should be greater than 0, so we will have two solutions. R squared plus 4st greater than 0. The third and fourth term of an arithmetic sequence are 13 and 18 respectively. What is the 50th term of the sequence? Alright, so we know that an arithmetic sequence is a sequence that the numbers, the difference between consecutive terms are the same. So basically if you have A1, A2, A3, so this is third term. So now we know it's 13. A4 is 18. So this difference should be same for each of these. So the difference between 13 and 18 is 5, right? So we want to find out what is the 50th term, okay? In order to find the 50th term, we know each term, a of n in arithmetic sequence is a1 plus n minus 1 times d. d is a common difference, which is 5. So we have d here, which is 5. n minus 1 is basically 50 minus 1, which is 49. a1, we just need to find a1. So if it's 13, then a2, 13 minus 5 is a2, which is 8. Then 8 minus 5, it's going to be a1, which is 3. So a1 is 3. So 49 times 5, 49 times 5 is 245 plus 3 is 248. A is the answer. On the following graphs in the standard xy coordinate plane, is a graph of y equals sine squared plus cosine squared over the domain of minus p over 2 to p over 2. Which one? So we know something. Sine squared x plus cosine squared is always equal to 1. H is the answer. This is always one number. It's 1. What is the period of a function f of x equal cosecant of 4x? Alright, so cosecant is basically 1 over sine of 4x. You want to find the period of that function. So we know if you have 1 over sine x, the period of this is basically period of the sine. So period of the sine is from it's basically 2 pi, right? 2 pi. Now we have 4x, so 2 pi over 4 is the period of our new function, which is pi over 2 is the answer. At the school carnival, Mike will play a game in which he will toss a penny, a nickel, and a dime at the same time. He will be awarded 3 points for each coin that lands with heads face up. Let the random variable x represent the total number of points awarded on any toss of the coin. What is the expected value of x? So there are things that we should notice. It's the total number of points awarded. So each coin, which is penny, nickel, dime, has a half a chance to come heads face up. And if that happens, he will have 3 points. So the chance that he get a point is 1.5 points, or 3 over 2 points each for each coin. Now because we have 3 coins, so basically each of them has the same chance. Add them all together is going to be 9 over 2. For what positive real value of k, if any, is the determinant of this matrix equal to k? So what is the determinant? We have it is AD minus BC, AD minus BC. So k times k minus 3 times 4, which is 12. It should be equal to k, because that's what we want, equal to k. So if we find k from here, we're done. So k squared becomes minus k minus 12 equals 0. So from here, I use quadratic formula. You can factor it or whatever you want, but it will be 1 plus minus square root of b squared, which is 1 minus 4 times 1 times minus 12 over 2a, which is 2. So this is 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So 1 plus 5, 6 over 2, which is 3. Or 1 minus 5, which is minus 4 over 2, is minus 2. Because we want a positive real value, so 3 is the answer. Given positive integer n such that I to the power of n equal 1, which of the following statement about n must be true? So what is I? I is imaginary number, and we know I squared is always minus 1. So I to the power of n is 1. So basically, the way that we define I is square root of minus 1. That's why I squared becomes minus 1. Then I cube becomes minus square root of minus 1, right? So multiplying I into I squared. Then I to the power of 4 will be basically 1 again, because it's basically this one 4 times itself. So from here it will always repeat. Then again I to the power of 5 becomes square root of minus 1, and so on. Alright, so now we know this is 1. So when n is divided by 4, the remainder should be 0. Yes, because it always multiply a 4. So the next one is I to the power of 8 becomes 1, right? So it means the n is either 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. So F is the answer. For theta between minus pi over 2 and pi over 2, absolute value of sine theta is bigger than 1. Is true for all and only the values of theta in which of the following sets. Alright, so we know this is true for all of them. Alright, we know sine of any angle is between minus 1 and 1. So this is sine is greater equal to 1. So it means only the equal to 1 is the answer, because it cannot be greater than 1. So sine of theta should be 1, or sine of theta should be minus 1. Unit circle, sine of theta 1, so this value or this value, because we are between minus pi over 2 and pi over 2. So basically it's either pi over 2, which is 90 degree, or minus pi over 2, which is minus 90 degree. Here or here is the answer. Done. Ray PK bisects LPM. The measure of LPM is 11x, and the measure of LPK is 4x plus 18 degree. What is the measure of KPM? So LPM, let's say this is LPM, and this is the angle. And we know PK, divide this into equally angles. Alright, now we know LPM, this one is 11x, and the LPK, this one is 4x plus 18. So basically we want to find out what is KPM. KPM is equal to LPM because they are the same values. Now basically 4x plus 18 should be equal to half of the whole thing. Our whole thing was 11x, so 11 over 2x. 11 over 2 is 5.5, so 18 will be equal to 5.5x minus 4x, which is 1.5x. So x become 12. X is 12. So when x is 12, then we can find KPM because it's equal to 4x plus 18. So 4 times 12 plus 18. 4 times 12 is 48 plus 18 is 6 here, then 2, 60, 6 degree. K is the answer. Alright, so that was it. That was the whole test, 60 questions. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, if you want to learn more, you can also purchase my course on Pre-Calculus 12, and I will be back with more of these set of questions that I will go through it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.